and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. This is Jessica. I am a reader for your Divine Goddess message, and we're going to get right to it today to see what messages come through for your goddesses and your divine feminine energy so that you can step into your life with power and all the tools necessary to create the life that you want. So let's see what goddesses are going to be with us today. Let's just get right into the reading. And then of course we'll define and clarify and get clear of what energies are coming through, what messages these are for. I say that there's messages in every reading for everyone. We just gotta kind of find the gems. But if it is not resonating, put it on the shelf and just take what resonates fully into your life and see what shines today. See what goddesses are with us. Right there. There's one. So we've got Benza'i Zen from, and she is beauty. And I love her because goddess energy is beauty. It's everywhere in our world. There's not too many. So we're getting close to the second energy that we need today. But beauty is everywhere, and that we can see that in our world. If you look at all of our planets, they're, yes, beautiful in their own way, but Earth is very special. And so the goddess is very much in our world and on this rock flying through the universe. But let's see, right there, I'm feeling that one. Yes, Anne, I believe, and it could be Aeon, but she is adaptability. So I like these two pairing because beauty and adaptability, that's something that I feel is a very important message with just that. I feel everyone defines beauty and their adaptability with beauty in their own way. And beauty, of course, is defined in different ways. So we adapt in our own uniqueness and our own definitions of beauty, and you know, that's something that I feel with my naturally curly hair. When I was growing up, it was not something that was sought after. It was not defined as beauty. There was nothing about it that was in alignment with what was popular, and I had to learn to adapt to my own unique beauty. And so I feel that that's also the message for you today, is to find your beauty and your uniqueness and see beauty in your uniqueness and run with it. So let's see what's energies are coming through as far as more of a clearer story, but I am seeing and feeling and hearing that message pretty loud. Beauty, of course, is, and I'm always, I think every single time she comes out, she pops out, Benza'i Zen. Oh, here we go, right there. We've got the Hermit, we've got Queen of Swords, and whenever she pops out, there we go. We've got Four of Wands. I always think of my mom saying, which is very Forrest Gumpish, and she used to say this before Forrest Gump came out, so I'm gonna, it's my momism. It is beauty is as beauty does. So as we know, that is a very clear thing. And I don't believe necessarily that once you're beautiful, okay, 3 cups in reverse, I believe beauty goes into every stage. And that's where that adaptability comes into, adapting through all the phases of our beauty and our development of it to our choices in it. So, and of course our preference. So, yep, right there. And we've got the 9 of Cups. All right. Let's see here. Right there. Wands. So we've got the 9 of Wands, and then of course the 8 of Wands. And Swords. Page of Swords. So, okay, this one. and the Knight of Swords. So swords and wands and some cups in reverse. So a little bit of celebration is in delay, and maybe that is of our own beauty. Maybe whoever's energy we're tapping into, and I would have to say this is my past energy. There's sometimes we don't know how beautiful we are, and we don't celebrate in it. In fact, we find more things to pick and criticize with. And so I'm hearing if this is in beauty with the depth of it, with wisdom. I believe that's the beauty of the crone, or the crown of a mature, older, or elderly woman is her beauty and the depth of her wisdom and knowledge. And so I'm seeing here that some people have been feeling beat up, and maybe that is from being picked on from either other people, of maybe not having the conventional beauty that people in our society, sometimes this is what's beautiful, and then anything outside of that isn't. And I know growing up there was a different energy, that it was, you had to have this or that, and if you didn't, then you weren't gonna fit in. And so with beauty, no matter if we identify as male or female, we can be our own worst critics, and then by maybe not having conventional beauty, that hidden beauty. I love little hidden wallflowers that blossom in time, and I believe that that's what when you have this Queen of Swords energy, it is adapting to where we are. Every stage of life is so fascinating, because sometimes as we morph into who we are, there's a lot of changes. There's bodily changes, there's taste changes, there's style changes, and we find what works for us. And if I didn't adapt to my curly hair, can you imagine if I always was trying to straighten it, which I did that. I went through a period, and then I tried to hide it. I tried to dye it different colors, and I just finally I found me and my beauty. And that's something that I inspire everyone to do, because the goddess is always beautiful. You are always beautiful. And even in our rough stages, I've had other of my shows that I've talked about those diamonds, those inclusions. It's important to see our flaws as beautiful, as well as them to be the absolute state of perfection as well. Now, can we look at things and go, okay, I've got an idea, I want to reinvent myself. Yes, the goddess says yes. If there is things you want to do, if there's people that inspire you, if I inspire you, take note. And when we feel something passionately about something else, it means that we just desire it. And I had a conversation with a dear friend that said, I had some jealousy, and I'm like, perfect. That is your indicator of something you want. Now, jealousy is a little bit of a lower vibration, and it's a little bit of a fear that someone can have something, or take something from me that I can't, and if that person takes it, I can't have it. Well, it's not true. You can have truly your beauty, and let other people guide you in your wants and your desires and your jealousy, because that's just an energy, or envy is an energy. Our society doesn't like to talk about those things, but that's the thing that sometimes inspires us to go, okay, well, it's just because I wanted it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Want it, desire it, find your beauty, and this contentment of what you have and working with what you have. And if you're not quite into, and here's where that Three of Cups is in reverse, if perhaps it's who you're associating with, maybe the reflection is, that's been a hard journey with goddesses when they are not in alignment with supporting one another. There can be that lack of camaraderie or support or celebrating each other's wins or celebrating each other's beauty. That's something that I know with that was a sad thing that even my mother passed to me, was that women are not, or goddesses are not, for each other. And sadly, there's not a lot of women that are. They view as another woman as competition, or not on the same team. And it's really sad to me because I have amazing goddesses in my life, and we support each other's wins, and we uplift each other. And in ancient circles, when they used to have circles for women, they used to gather together and they talked and they uplifted and they empowered one another and they grieved with one another. And they were all a mix of ages, so that they had the wisdom from the crone and the youth from the maiden, and then they had the mothers that were kind of right in between, that had both sides to look at and both sides to tap into and grow from. Because even in tapping into youth, for me to embody my youth and vitality, I stay there. And by me looking to the crone energy, I gather my wisdom, so that when I do not have anyone in front of me to gather wisdom anymore, and I am the crone, then I can be that ripple effect for the crones and all the goddesses coming after me, to have that ripple effect of wisdom and beauty and adaptability to all of those stages. So this I love, because this is celebration. This is the goal. And if you're not doing that with your goddesses, upbuilding one another and there for each other, I inspire you to change that. To be that Queen of Swords with that knowing, that idea, that compassion, moving forward with all the passion of that Knight of Swords, of not egoic rather, but knowing. The ego is a necessary aspect of being here on earth. We get to have our ego. It's when it rules things that it creates a problem. We get to have our heart as the captain of our ships. And with doing that, we create friendships and relationships that should uplift each other and celebrate each other. And so if you are struggling, ask for assistance. A true friend and a true goddess friend is going to go, what can I assist you with? What do you mean? No, we upbuild each other, and if someone is down on the size of their ass, or, well, right now it's the you can't have too big of an ass. But if whatever it is, we are so hard on ourselves as women. And as soon as we can learn to love ourselves, I love rituals. So when things changed really for me is when I went, you know what? How would I love my girlfriends? And then I'm like, I would build them up and I would tell them how beautiful they are. And, well, why am I not doing that to myself? So every single part of my journey, what came all back down to self-love. And then when I learned to love myself, I love another. And having that generosity to do so, to give, and be content with all of your yummy aspects of yourself. And then take those ideas and refine them. There's so many people to aspire, and first and foremost, that inner beauty, and I don't believe you would be here if you didn't have that inner beauty of going, I want to be love. I want to be love to myself so that I can love others. We're all very spiritual people that end up coming to my channel and to gather with other people that are doing the same thing, because as we know, that's how we find our tribe. It's all vibrational. And so keep doing it. Keep never stop working on yourself. And I say that not for vanity, but we feel so much better when we take care of ourselves. And I know that from the past that I can always tell the times that I wasn't loving myself was because it was also a reflection how I was caring for myself. And that does not change for men either. I feel that men who reside or identify as men, it's no different. They must tap into that goddess energy of self-care and nurturing and beauty, because that's how we put our best foot forward. That's how we work better. We're better mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. We're better children. When we feel good, it is truly a ripple to everyone else. So I'm going to read beauty and adaptability to further, and then we'll touch on some things in just a minute. But and I'm not talking about that superficial, well, I've got this, and so my world must be great, and no, I'm talking about beauty in all aspects, all facets. Remember, the goddess she is multifaceted. She is multidimensional, like you are, like I am. And so it's taking all the facets and seeing the depth of beauty as well, because that will never fade. Let's go to this one. All right, your empowerment message. You are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzai Zen, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Beauty awaits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzai Zen will help you. Your ability, here's the alignment message, your ability to see beauty in your world is dimmed by a momentary lapse in self-worth. The goddess of beauty asks you whether you have been set back by a visit of perfectionism, or others have withheld their support, causing you to feel small or insignificant. Whatever the circumstance, it appears that you have been hijacked by a sense of lack. Your alignment task is to restore your self-worth and realign your equilibrium by refusing to engage in the mind games designed to dim your light. Now is the time for positive self-inventory. The goddess Benzai Zen is here to remind you that you are a bright, shiny, beautiful being of divine power and light. You are more than enough, and the world contains more than enough beauty for you. This is a good place to dust off and start again. And I am encouraging you. Find beauty in everything. And it all comes back to you. It all comes back to me. When I find beauty in me, I find beauty in you. When I find love in me, I am able to love you. It is no different. So the universe is a constant mirror for us, which is ironic, right? It is. And it is showing us the depth of our beauty. And when we can find it in ourselves, then we will shine. And that is just how it is. So there's nothing that shines brighter than someone who is loving themselves and taking and not fearful, but joyful in being who they are. And that's what I always go back to, uniqueness. I just love uniqueness. I started in my 20s as a makeup artist, and that was something that I loved so very much, was working with all those goddesses that came in and they didn't find themselves beautiful. And to be able to show them how beautiful they were through loving themselves in just a simple care of perhaps some lip gloss or some skincare or whatever it was, all the way up until now, that this is just universal law of the goddess energy. That's why even through the Great Depression, the reason that makeup companies, they never went down was because a woman could buy a tube of lipstick for just cents and she would feel beautiful. It's very important to feel beautiful. And like I said, it sometimes feels superficial, but no, it's magic. You will step differently into your life by feeling beautiful. So find your beauty, and then you will also find beauty in everything. So, okay, and then a 9, I think is how you pronounce it, adaptability. And that's something that I inspire everyone to not hold too tightly to where you are now, because you will be ever changing and evolving. You know, we are like wine, and we get better in time, and that's the truth. The illusion of aging and is that we get worse or we lose our value, and that is just not true. So the adaptability with time and everything changing, let's read her empowerment message. It says, when you've set intentions for how your life could be different, better, fuller, juicier, prosperous, creative, more meaningful, etc., adaptability is the power you'll need to rely on. The old familiar you, the one who is used to your comfort zone, is now invited to dance in uncharted territory. The questions to ask yourself as you step into the unknown are, who do I need to become in order to experience this life I desire? What in me needs to shift so I can welcome this amazing abundance? You may want to pull up an extra card for your reading, as a message from another goddess may grant you further insight into your answers, which we're already ahead of the game. It says, know you have everything you need right now. You are aligned with the Celtic shapeshifter goddess Ain, I believe, I'm not sure, who could move effortlessly between our world and the world of fairy. Her power of adaptability is sparkling within you. Magic is afoot. Alignment message. Sometimes you find yourself unable to respond to life's changes because you are holding on too tightly to the image of how things should be. It's hard to adapt to change circumstances when you are so connected to familiar conditions or an old identity. Or you may be too attached to the form of your desired outcome, and when things go in a different direction, you resist. Have no fear. Instead, love these changes. Be open and curious. Call on the goddess Ain to embody her power. Remember, she could effortlessly shift from one form to another and move between worlds without consequence. Trust that whatever you're bumping up against will dissolve through your willingness to simply be with what is and allow the magic to reveal itself. And you, goddesses, are magic. So, as you are bumping up into the things of your world and you are feeling some resistance of maybe of an attachment of how things once were, I inspire you. It will serve you in every way to just embrace what's coming. Now, does it mean that you can't do things that can love you? Absolutely. Love your wrinkles. Love some gray hairs coming through. Love maybe a little bit extra. I always say when I've got more on me that I would prefer having, I just have more circles and there's more of me to love. So, I inspire you when you find yourself, first of all, don't talk to yourself. Don't talk to my friend that way if it's negative. Second, Start talking to yourself as if you are speaking to your most, like your daughter, like your best friend. Love yourself, love others, and share in your beauty of that depth of knowing that all the things that we have going on are beauty, and embracing that, because yeah, that compassion and that knowing, I love that. These goddesses have just, I feel, shown up in such a lovely way today, and remember, these are all layers. These are all things that we have to learn, or we can, or choose to, and then we honor ourselves by embodying and the goddess and that energy to let it flow through us so that we can share our beauty with the world. So thank you so much for joining me for today's message. Please like, comment, I'm loving all the comments, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for another message from our beautiful goddesses. Bye-bye.